Zack Polanski, Gary Stevenson, and the left are winning the argument on wealth taxes. The Overton window is being shifted to the left. We saw it in yesterday's budget. Rachel Reeves has done a mansion tax, got rid of the two-child cap that will take 450,000 children out of child poverty. We are winning the argument. And it seems that Zack Polanski is living rent-free in Labour's head because he got a mention in the budget. Let's get straight into the clip because I've got two clips, one from the budget and one from Good Morning Britain, that just shows you how a little can go a long way when you have media exposure and your ideas are being presented in the media. This is why Nigel Farage is so popular, because he simply has the exposure. People need to be exposed to ideas and then they eat them up. Let's get straight into the clip.
Now, I know that the leader of the Green Party is a keen hypnotherapist, and he believes that he can achieve remarkable things using only the power of his mind. Unfortunately, the only things getting bigger under his approach would be the deficit and the rate of inflation.
Okay, so she does know what hypnotherapy is. It's not the power of your mind. I mean, she's talking about telekinesis. I mean, if she doesn't know the difference between using the power of your mind and influence, which ironically Zack has done really effectively because he's pushed your budget to be more progressive. So you can, and the fact you're mentioning him as someone who's been a leader for a few months now and massively, again, hemorrhaging votes from the Labour Party to the Green Party. They're scared, and look at Keir Starmer's little face there. They know they're losing. They know that he's the most unpopular Prime Minister on record, even worse than Liz Truss. So let's get to the second clip, because I think this is truly astonishing. It's a really interesting clip of how the mainstream media and how the temperature of certain journalists and, you know, people who often are really opposed to any idea of the status quo being questioned. Let's get straight into the clip.
What about Zack Polanski? Zack Polanski is doing all the hard yards at the moment on the left, I would say, in politics. He's on our programme this morning because he wants a 1% tax on wealth over £10 million and 2% over £1 billion. He said it would raise £14.5 billion a year.
He's running rings around Labour on the left. He really is. He's running rings. And when did the late Green Party last get so much publicity on the eve of a budget?
He's raising his own money because he's getting more and more members to the Green Party, earning more membership fees.
Are you backing his proposal?
No, I'm not backing his proposal.
It sounds like you were.
But I'm just saying, I'm absolutely sure, Ed. What I'm saying is he's got a gift for PR, and the Green Party is punching way above its weight.
The trouble is, Kevin,
it's now overtaken the Liberal Democrats in the polls.
Isn't it?
I wouldn't argue against it. I'm in favour of a wealth tax.
Unless you're a billionaire, and there's so few billionaires.
People are arguing against it because they've been convinced by a system that maybe one day you could be a billionaire, which is statistically, you're more likely to get a blowjob off the Pope than become a billionaire. But people feel like, oh, you can't be punitive towards the wealth creators and the people who create the jobs. No. Again, since 2020, billionaires have doubled their wealth. Have you doubled your wealth in the last 5 years? Of course you haven't. If anything, you've probably lost wealth in real terms. I'm sorry to, break the news to you. But this is cutting through, and it's simple. And obviously the right centrists will attack Zack Polanski, like we saw with Rosie writing, like, oh, it's not realistic, we can't do that. You have to ask yourself the question, why are they saying that? Why can't we do this? It's because we're being constantly told by billionaires and vested interests that, no, we can't do this. Whereas we have control. Labour have a majority. They could be doing so much right now, and they're just being so tentative because they are beholden to the stock market. Whereas they just need to be radical because they're going to be criticised whatever they do. Whatever they do, they will be criticised. Why not be bold and really try and do something different? But they won't. But they can be influenced.
Unless you're a billionaire, you're going to think, Yeah, why shouldn't billionaires pay more?
Well, I think you. Why? Right. I think.
So, Kevin, you need to argue against this.
I'm not arguing against
Oh,
it.
are you a Green Party member?
No, but I'm in.
Defection alert.
Yes.
Defection alert.
I am in sympathy.
They probably don't want him.
With higher.
I mean, even this guy who is a right-wing shill, like the fact, just the jovial tone of it, I think is really important, because so many times it's like, oh, we can't do this, we can't do it, and then you get like, oh, they'll leave, and then that's been debunked. Most of the assets, people can't just move their assets. Like the guy who owns half of Mayfair can't just move half of Mayfair, can you? Right? So people are thinking, oh yeah, actually, maybe instead of doing austerity like we did for 14 years, hundreds of thousands of deaths, maybe we do try something different. Crazy idea, I know.
Taxes on wealthier people and higher earners to make Britain a fairer place.
Yeah.
And I can see a wealth tax on assets, and it's UK patriotic millionaires who've been proposing this. And it's on assets over 10 million. So you keep your first 10 million and then you pay a small amount on the top of the 2%. And that 2%, well, if you've got 10 million, assets normally go up 5% a year. So you're still making money.
So you're making the case...
You might find an old lady somewhere living in a castle.
Yeah. You're making the case for a wealth tax. Yes. The Labour Chancellor is not. And Labour have to argue...
Because they are beholden by vested interests, the fossil fuel companies and the people, the Tory donors that have now shifted to Labour. There's no interest there. That's why they're so like, oh, we can't scare the bond markets. Why not? Why not? Have a consistent story about, okay, who's going to pay for the damage causing society from inequality? Over the last 40 years, we've seen increasing inequality. People are getting poorer at the bottom, and the wealthy are just getting wealthier. And it's just going to... And the bond markets bet on that. They bet on you getting poorer and the wealthy getting wealthier. And that's what their prediction is. Like, oh, GDP go up, and fuck you, fuck your mental health, fuck your children's mental health. They can't afford a house. They can't get a job. They're saddled with student debt, and you will own nothing. Suck it up, buddy. Suck it up. Because they don't give a shit about you. Labour don't give a shit about you. Reform don't give a shit about you. Certainly, the Tories don't give a shit about you. Who do you have? Well, the Green Party, who want to tax wealth, not work. It's a non-brainer. It's so obvious, isn't it?
Against the Green Party, who are making this very popular
proposal. You're quite right, and well, I'll let her argue against it. I'd argue for it. I'm with those who want higher taxes.
I think
on
there were some
people.
Labour MPs outside Parliament with Zack Polanski yesterday. Labour MPs on the left of the party.
Yeah, because Labour is no longer, I mean, hasn't been for a long time, a left-wing party. They don't care about the working people. It's clear. Yes, they've been forced. Their hand has been forced. And that's the only... They have no values. Like, the idea that Keir Starmer become a leader on these progressive platforms, soon abandoned, and then they're trying to do the island of strangers. They're doing these draconian measures on asylum seekers and refugees. And now they're going... Like, who believes it? They have no values. And people want authenticity. They want hope. Labour doesn't want to give any hope. They want to tax wealth. They want the bills lowering. And they want to have hope for the future. Hope is a powerful tool. And Reform, the Tories, Labour are not offering hope. They're offering just the same old, and people want something different. They do. And if you do too, join the Green Party if you haven't already, because we're winning. We are winning already. So tell me your thoughts below, and I'll see you in the next video.